Most tailors have been cutting their cloth wrongly all this while, especially Jonkoso. Now, this Jonkoso is a very tricky fabric because of its nature, right? It hardly stays one place. So the first thing we are doing here is to get the front and back. So once you are able to differentiate the front and back, and the front is simply the area that is smoother and a bit shiny, right? While the rough edge, the rough side is always the back. So here I have identified the front and back of the first one. I am trying to get the second one, and which I have seen right here. So make sure you cross check severally, don't be in a haste. So here is the back, as you can see clearly from the video that it is also shining. So now that you have marked chalk on them, now you arrange it this way. Now this folding came with a range. I did not just fold as I wanted. I folded in accordance with my customer's chest measurement divided by 4 plus extra 2 inches. So having known that, then you fold in that form. The chest I have here is 40, divided by 4 is 10, plus 2, that's 12 inches. That means that this folding must cover 12 inches, right? So this is applicable to all chest size measurements. As long as your measurements are correct, this is how you must do it. And then after which you iron. If you can observe, I am using my 2-iron steam iron to iron. Now such fabrics, I always tell people to use steam iron. Steam iron is very friendly, soft, and gives you a more professional ironing effect, and it doesn't burn easily or squeeze the fabric. So it's advisable you use steam iron on such tender or silky fabrics. Then after that, the iron effect will remove the rumples that are on the fabric. Then after which I carefully arrange it again, making sure that both areas are aligning. And the reason I am cutting these two fabrics together is because the owner has the both fabric, right? Now the guy brought two fabrics, so in order to save time, such customers I cut them together as long as the basic bodies are the same. So now the first thing that is to mark out your baseline. So once your baseline is properly marked out, then you mark 4 inches. Now these 4 inches you are marking here will serve you for the folding or hemming of the top, right? Now you mark out 4 inches. Now the 4 inches must be drawn in this form, and then after which the next thing you are going to do here is to bring your pattern master. Now for every tailor, one of the reasons or one of the tools you must get is the pattern master. Now this pattern master will help you in marking so many areas. Now after that, you apply the top length. So the top length I have is a top length of 34. So you measure 34 in that form, and then you apply. It's advisable that you mark it twice. Now the reason for the double marking is to get a straight line on the shoulder, right? So you mark it twice, and then you draw the line across just like this. So there becomes your shoulder line. So this shoulder line ends the top length, right? Don't forget that. And after which you get your armhole. Now how do we get armhole? Divide the chest by 4, and then consider if you are making a short sleeve or 3/4. So in this case I am making a short sleeve, so I will divide 40 by 4, that's 10. And the formula states that you must minus or deduct 1 inch from the chest over 4 to get your armhole line for all long sleeves and 3/4. So here I marked 9 inches for armhole and then drew the line, and then here I am marking the 10, which is the chest over 4 plus extra 2 inches or 1.5. So here is the shoulder. So the shoulder I have is 18 plus half inch, that's 18 and a half, as I will mark at 9.5, rather 9.5, and then after that I will slope the shoulder by 2.5. Now that slope is very important, it's very essential, because your cloth can never be straight. You must drop the shoulder by 2.5 for regular sizes. Now the next I am marking here is my neck. My neck is 16 divided by 6 minus 0.3 from it. Use the answer to mark the width, and then add half to the answer you used to mark the width, then for you to be able to get your depth. So once you have gotten your depth, you draw the line across in this form. Now make an angle 90 mark in that point, or at that point rather. So once the angle 90 mark has been made, connect the cross-like intersection or intercepts rather you had on the shoulder slants and the shoulder width, and then to the neck edge. Then after which you now make a curve with your pattern master. So here you slope your pattern master half an inch or 1 inch inwards from the shoulder slope, and then place your pattern master in this way to make a connection that will give you your armhole curve. Now I know most of you might be confused at this first trial, but if you watch this video over and over again, you will tend to understand it. But however, if you want to have an online training on this, specifically for this, comment in the comment section of this video. I'll be sending you a link where you will make a payment for a certain online class that will give you a clearer view and understanding of all of these things I'm explaining now on my channel. But however, if you don't have the money, you can still make do with the knowledge here, which is still very much valid. Then after that, you come up by 6 inches here for your slit opening of your outfit. Now the 6 inches will come from the 4 inches you marked for your hemming, right? So here you now start cutting. So before we get to that, I want you to have a closer look at this. So now you carefully cut out this. So please pay attention on how the neckline is curved. The neckline must be cut in a circular form and not in an oval form, right? And then cut the shoulder line in this form, and then after which you also cut the armhole line. Now bear in mind that this armhole line will still be trimmed when we are sewing. It's not the final armhole line. We are still going to make some adjustments both on the neck and the armhole as well to give us a perfect fitting or size for that particular outfit. So after this, now you cut out all through that way. So now the next important thing I want to show you as well is the back cutting, now which most of us do also have confusion on. So I will just kindly take my time to cut out this, and then I will show you guys how to cut the back panel as well. So if you are loving this video to this very moment, please don't forget to like this video, give it a thumbs up, comment, drop a heart emoji, ask your questions. Let this video be interactive where I'll be answering or taking care of your questions, right? And after which you cut out the baseline you have marked, and then more importantly, you bring your pin. Please note, you must bring your pin and then pin the panels. Now the reason for the pinning is to make sure that the panels does not wobble, right? So that they stay one place, because most people hardly use this pin. Now, this pin is part of your sewing journey, it's part of your sewing career. Most people feel if they use pin they are doing like an amateur, but that's not the case. Rather, when you fail to use your pin, that is when you are even an amateur, because all of these tailoring items and equipments and tools are essential at every point in time, right? There are some fabrics that you must pin before you handle. If you don't pin them, they might take you time, or you might eventually make a blunder in the drafting stage. So like I was saying, please, if you have not liked this video up to this very moment, you are very wrong. Kindly like this video, drop a heart emoji, very important, right? And then comment and tell me where you're watching from. So here I am ironing out the back panel. I have folded it, and the folding must also come in line with the size of your client. That's the same thing you did on the front, that the 40/4 plus extra 2 inches, that is the same pattern as well you must use to fold the back panel. So when you have gotten to this stage, now you iron out all through properly. Make sure that there's no rumples on the fabric. Now these rumples can, alter the actual size of your fabric. I have encountered where some fabrics shrink after ironing, so it's better you iron and observe if it's shrinking, because if it's shrinking you will be able to make some adjustments in the measurements application. But if it's not, if you do not iron it after sewing, if you not iron, it will not shrink and become smaller than your measurements you use in drafting, which will really be a problem for you when you are delivering the cloth to your client. So now after that, iron out the back panel, and after which you bring the front panel and then you place. So here I am placing the front panel together. So here I calmly arrange it. So the major important thing you need to learn here is that the hem of the back panel is 1 inch longer than the front at the baseline. I will show you guys when I get to that stage, but bear it in mind. So now you make sure that you iron out everything and place accordingly. You place accordingly and make sure that it is 1 inch longer at the hem there. Look at it. So 1 inch, right? As you can see, 1 inch. So it's very important that 1 inch is going to help us in our neck balancing. So after that, you raise the back panel by 2.5. So whatever be the measurement you used in raising the back, you used in the sloping of the front panel, you have to replace it on the back panel. Make sure you use the same value you use, right? And then mark out the line as shown. And after this, then you bend your ruler ½ inch backwards from the straight line of the front neck, or rather angle 45 degrees backwards in this form. Now bear in mind that the back neck is a bit wider than the front neckline. That is how it should be. So ½ inch from here in, from the straight line of the back, right, of the front. Then the depth of the back neck is 1.5. That's 1.5 inch for the depth of the back neck. Please watch attentively how I will place this on this. So now you have to tilt your ruler as well, and the curve should go down by ½ inch and not that way. It should not be high, high, right? So now you make sure it goes off that way, and then after you have done the back neckline, then you now cut. Please watch attentively. Now you now cut the neckline. Bear in mind that the neckline here must be a bit shallow, must be a bit sunken. You cut gently, and after that you now cut the shoulder area, and then we are going to cut the armhole point. Now at this point, most people give 1 inch extra on the armhole. It's still very much okay, it's still very much good, right? But then I like trimming the front and back armhole line to be equal on my senators, as long as you do not trim much, right? It helps to also reduce the rumple effect that you will see on the armhole front and also armhole back. So here you fold the back length to come in front by 2 inches. So you must fold 2 inches point. Then once you have folded that form by 2 inches, then you trim the excesses on the armhole line. You trim off the excesses, and after which you also trim out the neckline as well. So once you have trimmed out your neck, your armhole area, the excesses, you also go to the front neckline, and then you trim all through as well. So this trimming you are doing is also very essential, in the sense that it helps to balance the neckline when you join it. Then after that, you now synchronize or fine-tune all of this in this form. So this is basically what I wanted to show you guys, how to get a perfect curtain. Thanks for watching, guys. See you on the next one. Bye bye for now.